In this episode, we uncover recurring patterns from site assessments across Europe, North America, and Asia. And despite differences in size and industry, most locations share the same challenges and bottlenecks when it comes to automation. Let's dive into it.
Automation Awakenings, your weekly dose of best practices for logistics automation.
Hey guys, welcome back to Automation Awakenings. And in this episode, we gonna share some golden bullets with you, right, Olli?
Absolutely, Matthias, because as you know, we are traveling the world for you and visiting many customers, getting a lot of experiences from projects on site. And today we would like to share some of the most interesting insights we gained.
Yeah, and we want to talk about the recurring patterns that we see in plants and facilities that we analyze and assess that are keeping those organizations away from automating in a successful way. So we have 5 points actually that have just popped up over the years. And I think we can start with one very nice one, and that's the use case.
Yeah, exactly. Because what happens? Someone has the idea we should automate. Might be the plant manager, logistics manager, doesn't matter. And you get the task, please automate logistics now. So what do? You go around, you look on your processes, and I still don't understand completely why, but people tend to pick the most complex use case first to automate.
That's right.
Best example, truck unloading. Yeah, maybe this where they start in their benchmark. They go out and see the trucks are coming, and you have a lot of effort unloading them. And then they say, hey, that would be so cool to have a robot there.
Yeah, this is also my theory. It's just so obvious, and it's such a prominent process in a logistics facility. And everyone knows it's so complicated and capacity consuming that it's the first no-brainer to go for, basically, right? And no one would object. If you say, hey, let's automate truck loading and unloading, everyone would clap their hands and say, yes, that's the way to go.
You would be even part of the next episode of your internal newspaper. Yeah, Matthias Koblitz automated truck unloading in Stuttgart plant.
Yes, perfect. So you can even win some merits here.
Yeah.
And that's the starting point of a misconception, actually, because as we have explained earlier, truck loading and unloading is not yet really widely spread and feasible with automation tech. Yes, there are some first solutions for milk run operations that always go fully loaded from one to another location and never change that. There are options there, but for 95% of our customers, it's just simply the wrong and most complicated way to start.
Absolutely. And what happens after I picked the very complex use case? You look for a partner to automate this use case.
Exactly. Yeah, and picking the wrong supplier is a second problem that we see a lot. And actually, it's not fair to judge the people for that, because we also know that feeling when you go to an automation fair and just get overwhelmed by all of those booths, all of those very nice salespeople that will tell you all the benefits of their solution, and you're simply totally lost after such a day. And and what happens then, Olli?
Well, one famous colleague compared this situation to when you get hungry on the highway. Yeah, when you're driving your car, you get hungry. Where do you go? To McDonald's or Burger King.
That's right.
And then, okay, you get something to eat. It's not expensive, fast, but somehow you will get it directly afterwards.
Yeah, that's right. It seems like to go for a first no-brainer, but in the end you regret it. And that's what often happens when you go out and start searching yourself without really having a lot of background and without having done a lot of research. You tend to run into partnerships with suppliers you shouldn't partner with because you're going to regret it.
Yes, I mean, maybe a supplier from some traditional logistics project with
Yes.
manual equipment,
For example.
and it might be that this provider also has good automated solutions. It's possible.
Yeah.
But it's a rare case that you take a supplier you well know already, that exactly this supplier has the perfect solution for your automation use case.
That's right.
Yeah.
So for sure, that's our second big pattern that we see when we start talking to our customers, that they already search the market, they made their mind up, and they already come with a suggestion of a supplier that we do not endorse because it's not the right fit for this customer. Let's move on. What is our third misconception here? And that's, I think it's strongly linked also with the supplier selection topic, and that's simply wrong expertise that you have, or missing expertise that you have. And we also seen it time and again that those automation initiatives are assigned to someone that is, of course, already working in this facility, that is having a full-time task that is totally different, but who now has been nominated to drive the automation topic in this facility. So you bring in someone who's not really having the right knowledge, the right expertise to take decisions that are very expensive or could become very expensive mistakes in the end. And that's also something that is a huge problem, right, Oli?
Yes, the topic is who do you send to the Logimat? Who will be responsible for the automation project? And either it's an IT guy from your team who is completely busy with IT stuff, or a key user. In the best case, it's a person who is doing something like continuous improvement work and is at least used to do projects. But also here, really rarely, this continuous improvement person is an expert in mobile robots.
Yes.
Yeah. Or worst case, and we see this pattern still, you just hire an intern or write a student thesis.
Yes. Yeah.
How can we start with automation in our plant? And this is happening in reality. And then you have this poor student, super eager to automate. And after 6 months, you have a first idea or maybe a concept, but also this person will not be neither the expert nor the person who will then implement something.
Correct.
Yeah, but still a big mistake which is done right now.
Right. So let's tick this off and let's move on to the next one. And that's just wrong view or wrong information on the savings.
Yeah, this goes hand in hand with the wrong use case, of course.
Yeah.
And with the missing expertise, because you have a look on your process, on your use case, and you try to evaluate how much money will I save.
Yeah.
Will I need 1 AGV or 2 or 3 to automate a task which today one person does? How can you judge?
Right.
Yeah? Will it really work at the end? Are 3 forklift AGVs enough? What somebody is doing today with a pallet jack.
Right.
Yeah. And here you really struggle to calculate a potential ROI. And without the ROI, you will not get any budgets approved.
Yeah, that's right. Or you calculate an ROI that is not, or I mean, the first ROI shot will never be exactly what you achieve. I mean, that's clear. But you just calculate something that is totally out of space in the one direction or the other direction, and that can kill or simply, simply destroy your automation project in the end. Cost visibility, savings understanding, and savings calculation is one big chunk of topics that is a common pattern that we see, that is very unclear, that is very fluffy, and that no one really has a clear opinion on when we go and talk to our customers at the beginning.
I just thought if there are customers where we've seen all of these patterns, and yes, there are people who would like to automate, take the truck unloading with a partner who actually cannot do it, with a key user who is not experienced. Then they calculate a wrong ROI. And in the worst case, even the automation is not working properly because they can only automate unloading 10%.
Every 20 cases.
Yeah. Every 20 cases. Yeah. The ROI is far away. And the outcome is that automation is not working in this plant.
Yeah.
And it was just an experiment, and we should never automate again.
Exactly.
And this can happen in any of these patterns we have seen. Yeah. But of course, if you do everything wrong, then automation is off the table.
Yes, it's off the table because the management team is totally let down, is totally disappointed by the outcome, and it's going to be very, very hard to convince them to take another shot. So choose wisely, decide wisely, and make sure you partner with the right experts to get this whole initiative going right from the start. But we have one last point we have to cover, and that's strategy, like automation strategy, and IT integration, which I think go hand in hand. And I would also say this is more of a fifth Champions League pattern. Like the four first ones are the basic ones, the basic patterns and misconceptions. But then the fifth one is coming into play when you are somewhere already on your automation journey. So you already figured out what you want to do, you have your use case, the right partner, like all of these 4 points are ticked off. But then comes the situation where you have to decide, okay, but what now? Like we have this going here, we have this one use case, it's working well. What do we do with this in terms of our whole organization, in terms of our whole company? What is our strategy? How do we want to source our mobile robots? Which mobile robots do we have to source? Do we have further use cases that we can or should cover with mobile robots? How do we tender, like to get the best price? All of that falls from me into the strategy part. Plus, the IT side is very important. Like, do we have the right triggers in place in our organization? Do we have an idea on how we want to connect mobile robots with other systems that we use, like SAP, like MES systems? How about data security? Like, can we use a fleet management software that is provided by a supplier that is sitting in a cloud where I have to send my movement and logistics data of the robot into a cloud and then back from the cloud into the robot? Is that allowed? So there is a lot of questions that are centering also around IT and IT security that have to be clarified somewhere along the road, because otherwise you will stick with 1, 2, or 3 successful use cases. But then in the end, if you don't have a clear strategy and you don't have an idea on how you want to organize your company-wide IT integration, you will just lose yourself in 1,000 different, very specific use cases covered by 1,000 different suppliers with no economies of purchasing, with no clear target and structure on how to do this IT-wise. So with a lot of workarounds, and this is not a place you want to be in.
Yeah, regarding your thank you, Matthias.
That was a
a masterclass
monologue
in strategy and IT topics. What came into my mind directly when you were talking about strategy and big picture, I have very clear maturity levels I'm checking out with the customer. First level is, okay, I know which use case to automate now.
Yeah,
at least. Then second level would be, I know what I'm doing now, and I already know which will be the next one. So at least they fit.
Yeah.
First pallet, then boxes, for example.
Yeah.
And I have a picture about that. Third level would be, I know already for all my use cases, which ones I would like to automate and how. And I think already in that point, latest, you need an IT strategy as well. Do I need a fleet manager? Will the robots meet? And so on.
Yeah.
Then you need to decide for which fleet manager to go. And the last Champions League level is the full integration with all players along the chain. Like, do I have a fully automated box warehouse, pallet warehouse? How will the bins will be picked and transported to the line? Like the full big picture of automation. That's the Champions League. And of course, this goes along with the proper IT strategy and integration of your legacy MES systems, ERP systems. And this altogether is then the strategy and IT integration, which is a big one.
Right. So last point is really a huge topic that will need some deep investigation, some really deep assessment as well, and a very clear requirements list in the end. So make sure again to get this right, to partner up with someone that can help you to do that correct, at least in the first shot, because otherwise you might end up in a situation that will prevent you from scaling your automation success. Right.
We fired all our golden bullets for today, I would say.
The big question is, did we hit any targets?
Hopefully, we've hit the expectation of our listeners out there.
Yeah, totally. Hope this content is helping you guys. If you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to us. We are available and we are active on social media like LinkedIn, on YouTube as well. And we're going to hear each other back in 2 weeks with another episodes of the Automation Awakenings podcast. Hope to see you guys back then. Take care and goodbye.
This was another episode of the Automation Awakenings podcast. Visit us at automation-awakenings.com.